Hey everyone, welcome to GameSpot's Day 3 stage show from San Diego Comic-Con. I'm your host, Chris Waters, joined by my man, Eric Tay.
What up?
Eric, give it to me here. We got a lot of stuff to give away today. We got a lot of demos to show you. We've got a lot of floor reports, like checking out cosplay, checking out booths, all the cool stuff from San Diego Comic-Con that brings hundreds of thousands of people to San Diego at this time of year, every year. Eric, how's your day been, man? Have you been out and about?
I went in a little bit with Justin. We saw the smog that you were talking about on preview night that I had not seen.
Oh
so
man, that thing is dope.
we'll see that later, a little bit later.
Yep.
And other than that, it's Saturday. It's day 3. It's a pretty crazy day. Everyone's out and about because all the kids can go to Comic-Con now, and it's just absolutely crazy inside. Absolutely crazy.
And as a sort of wrap-up bonus for Day 3, you're going to see a little bit more of this in the upcoming Sideshow Collectibles segment. But if you were watching GameSpot on Twitter, you know that we are going to be giving away a Nathan Drake statue. It's in this box right here, and it's friggin' massive and really cool. The way to win this guy, just go ahead and find the tweet on GameSpot's tweet line. This one, that's the one. Retweet that, and you'll be entered to win. We're gonna give it away on Monday, and I won't be doing that scatting thing during that giveaway, unfortunately, unless you ask for it. Hashtag ChrisScat. Nope, that's the wrong thing. Don't say that. All right, we're also giving away all this stuff, which get in the GameSpot chat and comment, and we will put you down on the list. We've already given away a bunch. We're going to go through this stuff and give away more, but we're going to go to a game demo now because games. But first, we got Lords of the Fallen coming up. We had them in here, talked about that game, which is like Soulsian, but also very action-heavy. Looks pretty cool. But first, it's off to check out Sonic Boom out on the show floor and see what the Sonic and all his crazy pals are up to, besides wearing scarves and looking real jacked.
Hi there, I'm Anna Prosser-Robinson for GameSpot here on the front line at San Diego Comic-Con 2014. I'm with my new friend Marcella from Sega. Marcella, what are you here showing off at Comic-Con?
We're here showing off Sonic Boom, which is a brand new video game that we are demoing here for all the fans. Sonic Boom is a new branch of the Sonic universe that we've introduced this year. And not only do we have video games, but we also have a TV show being aired on Cartoon Network in the fall. And we also have a huge new line of merchandise, toys, apparel, that kind of thing. So many people come up to us and they tell us all about all their little history with Sonic. And they've been playing, I met a gentleman today who's played every single Sonic game. And he's really looking forward to Sonic Boom because it's a new kind of refreshing take on Sonic. What it means is, what we've done is we've taken the characters, for instance, and we sort of aged them up, and we're bringing back some of the irreverence that used to be in the 90s with Sonic. And so that's part of it, and we're giving more personality to each of the characters. So Sonic now is going to be playing a lot with his friends, Knuckles, Tails, Amy. They're all going to have more prominent roles, and their personalities are really coming out. And they're going to go on a lot of different adventures with a mix of comedy and action, so it'll be really fun. There's still the core characteristics that made them, each of those characters are still there. So we believe that it's great for not only new fans, but classic fans, Sonic as well. I mean, they'll all recognize these characters.
And what's new in terms of the gameplay? What are we going to see that's fresh?
For our Wii U version of the game, what's nice is that we've developed this game with a US-based developer. Big Red Button in Los Angeles is doing the Wii U, and San Francisco-based Sanzaro Games is doing our 3DS. And so they're bringing a kind of a new take to video games, and they're looking at what kids like to play and how they like to play it. So our Wii U version has got more open world exploration, combat, and that kind of thing. And then our 3DS has got some of the classic platforming, but we've got some puzzling, we've got also some more open world exploration. So it's really nice. We're kind of enhanced the gameplay to sort of what kids like to play today.
Well, I've seen so many people here in your booth. It seems like you're right. It has been appealing to a lot of people at Comic-Con. How's the Comic-Con experience been?
Oh, it's been great. I love seeing all the fans coming up. I love the enthusiasm. So for us, it's been awesome. We've had zillion people come for our Sonic Boom bags, and they're wearing it proudly. So it's really exciting.
That's great. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I am also a Sonic fan and really identify with him as a part of my childhood. If you do as well, let me know. Tweet at Anna Prosser, and let's reminisce about some good old video game days. And be sure to check out Sonic Boom.
It was announced earlier this year, made a big splash at E3, and now at Comic-Con, folks are getting their hands on it. Lords of the Fallen, we're going to take a look at, and Steven Skelton is joining me on set, producer on the game. Steven, thanks for coming, man.
Thanks for having me.
You guys we took a look at your booth on the show floor a little earlier on our show a couple days ago, and you guys have got like a challenge there for people playing the game. You've got a giveaway. You got the whole Comic-Con production.
Yeah, we have a whole set of PS4s running the game that you can come and check out and put your hands on, play the game, and if you can beat the level all the way through the boss, you can get a T-shirt. And we also have Harkin's hammer, our main character's gigantic hammer replica.
I feel like your hands are really not far enough apart to indicate.
I can't. It's really
really
enormous.
Big, yeah.
And if you go to our Facebook page, there's a link there where you can enter a contest to win the hammer,
and then
figure out where to put it.
I don't know. Do with it. That's your problem. But Lords of the Fallen, you're giving away T-shirts to people who beat that section. Did you bring a lot of T-shirts, or is it pretty tough?
It's pretty tough, and we got plenty of T-shirts, but it's a pretty big challenge because we've been actually had a lot of people coming and checking out the game, which is awesome. But I don't know, can't say what the exact statistics are, but only once in a while does somebody actually get through without dying at least once. And now that's the trick. You can't die to get the shirt. You can't die.
You could get through it, just die a few times, have a good time, but you're not getting the T-shirt.
No shirt.
So the game, Lords of the Fallen, is a challenging game.
Yeah, it's an action RPG. It's a challenging game, but we want to make it challenging but not frustrating. And
that seems like a tough line to walk. Yeah,
it's a very tough line. But one of the things that I think works really well in Lords is the animation system, and you can really see the behavior of the enemies, and you can spend some time observing them and make tactical decisions based on what you observe and how they behave and how they indicate how they're going to come at you.
Well, we're going to get a look at it right now in action, and
there we go, yeah.
First off we see our, well, I hesitate to call him a hero, but protagonist, Harkin.
Yeah, that's your character, Harkin, and he's engaged in combat here. And you can see like the animation system is like really nice and smooth, and the characters give a nice indication about maybe what direction they're going to swing, what direction they're going to stab, so you have a chance to actually react to it without getting immediately clobbered.
And then thwack them with your glowing
the glowing staff,
flail.
which is looks like a cleric class weapon.
Okay, so there's a couple different. It's one character, but you can play him in a couple different classes.
Yeah, essentially, there's three base classes: warrior, cleric, and rogue, and those determine your set of magical abilities, and that's what you get locked into for the game. But any equipment you come across, any weapons or armor or anything like that, you can mix and match. So
there's no cleric only rogue.
Right. Yeah. If you're a cleric class, you can put on warrior armor and use rogue weapons. So you can mix and match to your heart's delight. However you wanna play.
Very cool. So it looks like we jumped to another area because we're seeing the sword now is in action, and the shield, which I was going to comment on earlier. It just looked like a gaping, toothy maw.
Yeah, that's
which is kind of what the shoulder pads now look like.
Yeah, and they're probably part of the same set. So, but yeah, you're not restricted to using the same set. And there we go. You can kind of see. You can switch out all the equipment that you found. Whether it's weapons or armor or anything like that, and choose what you want, and your character will change, and your character's appearance will change as a result. And of course, the heavier the weapon or armor, the more encumbered you are. You move a little bit slower, but you've got more protection. So there's the trade-offs.
So some sort of familiar balances and trade-offs, as you said, in terms of the armor that you guys are bringing in. What is it? This is the kind of game that people are familiar with and have a lot of passion for. What are you guys sort of targeting in Lords of the Fallen to help it sort of carve out its own niche?
Well, with Lords of the Fallen, what we're doing is, first going for a challenging but not frustrating combat experience, and second, we have a bit more of a focus on a strong narrative in the character story.
Okay.
It's Harkin, your character, is brought into this conflict because thousands of years ago, humanity had this huge fight with this evil god and defeated the god, and everybody thought, great, we've eliminated evil from the world, so now anytime somebody commits a sin, we're just going to brand them an outcast and put a tattoo on their face and kick them out.
And send them out.
Yeah, but this evil god's forces have been returning to Earth, and nobody knows why. And they figure, well, let's fight evil with evil. Let's find the worst of the worst, the baddest dude we can find that's committed the most sins, and set him on this quest to figure out what's going on and to stop it, and that's you.
So you are a real salty dude.
Yeah.
And you are fighting
A lot of overdue library books. A lot of
parking tickets. Just, oh my goodness.
So
you wouldn't
so
believe.
you're a real bad dude, real tough, and it's your job to stop these forces, and then figure out why they're coming back, and ultimately try and stop.
If you're such a bad
guy.
dude, why do you care though, man? Like, what,
That's-
you're just like, well, you guys branded me a sinner,
Yeah.
tattooed my face. Forget you.
Well,
what the hell?
yeah, well, I mean, the trade-off is like, hey, you do this, then you can rejoin society, and you're
all
cool.
right,
But it's also,
Let you
you'll
back
find
in.
out the story has a little bit of a turn too, where as you progress through the game, you'll start to find clues that, like, well, maybe this evil god wasn't so evil. Maybe he shouldn't have been banished, and maybe I will or will not try and rebanish this guy.
Oh, all right. Maybe this
and so-
infiltrator
yeah.
who's like pooping out horrible blade puddles isn't
Yeah.
such a bad guy after all. Yeah, I gotta say, this thing is grossing me out, and
Yeah.
I kind of like it. Is that weird?
Yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot of the different creatures are really kind of awesome and unique, and yeah, this guy in particular.
I don't
really
think I realized he had a giant toothy mouth
Yeah,
in
and
his
his
torso
tummy, yeah.
also. Fantastic. It just keeps getting better.
Yeah.
Are you guys, is that sort of grotesquerie like part of one of the design things you're sort of focusing on in terms of
Yeah.
creating that world?
Well, it's creating like a unique creature that stands alone by itself. That's also distinct from a lot of the other like major bosses, which are the lords of this fallen god. They're like the generals of his armies.
Okay.
is who the lords.
So
are.
you're
These are
not
these
the
big guys.
lord, you're
No,
fighting
you're
the
fighting
lords.
the lords.
Gotcha.
So and so to make each one of these guys as unique and interesting as possible. So there's that guy who's the tripody spider crazy thing, and there's a guy that's earlier who's more of kind of like a traditional giant armored guy. Who's really menacing. So we've got a lot of different variety.
He doesn't necessarily squirt things out that then grow on the floor.
No, but he's got some really cool attacks when you get him hurt pretty bad. He gets really angry and tears off all his armor and then just starts going crazy.
Doesn't seem prudent, but I guess
He's angry,
you
he
don't get
gets
to be
angry,
a lord
yeah.
of the fallen without knowing a thing or two about killing things.
Exactly.
Speaking of, there was a few moments we saw there that was sort of like execution moments or something a little earlier on. So the enemy behavior changes over the course of the battle.
Yeah.
In some ways.
Yeah, and it's also as you're fighting, depending. I mean, you can execute timed combos that will let you chain into some of those kind of specific attacks.
Okay. So you yourself, now do those combos, are those things you kind of learn? Are they weapon dependent? Are they just kind of general attack pattern stuff?
It's an attack pattern and kind of and based on position and timing where you are in relation to the enemy, and then it'll kick in.
Okay, cool. So it seems like you guys have sort of the evil versus maybe good story stuff going on. You've got a couple inflection points in this story, but seems like a lot of your focus is on that combat.
Well, yeah, I mean that's the core of the game. I mean that's the heart of the game is the intense tactical combat, one-on-one or a couple on one. So it's never going to be like 100 guys coming at you.
Sure.
Whack, 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 whack. It's very tactically.
You need to be engaged with that enemy and sort of reading them and reacting to them as opposed to just threshing your way through.
Yeah, you don't get too far just running in and just starting to hack away.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Are there any other sort of modes you guys are putting in here in addition to sort of the main thrust of the campaign?
No, well, I mean that's the main game itself. There are like side quests and stuff that you'll find. So in how the game is structured, so it's kind of a network hub structure. So there's a central monastery that you keep returning to and finding new bits and pieces of the story and equipment and areas, and then as you go out to different areas.
Oh, so you can kind of choose which areas you
a little bit,
head
there's
towards.
a little bit of that. So and there's also with the limited edition.